So good evening, everyone. My name's Candice. Thank you for taking the time out to attend the payroll webinar. Palladium Payroll is a cloud-based solution, which means no installation is required. We cater for unlimited employees and unlimited companies. I'm going to answer all your questions at the end of the session. So let's begin. Let me just log out again. Okay, so we have a 30-day trial period. Please log on to or visit palladiumpayroll.co.za and select the link Try Palladium Payroll for free. Enter in your details and a validation email will be sent to your email address entered. Once you click on that, you'll be able to enter in your details and actually log in. Once you log in, you can go in and create a company. So we've created a wizard just to assist you with creating your company. Got a little tooltip there. So your company code is alphanumeric. We'll just create one just to complete the wizard and show you what it looks like. Okay, we'll enter in a company registration code, standard industry code. Special economic zone. We need to add in South Africa. The company type, we'll select a private company. Got a PAYE number. Once you select the PAYE number, your UIF and your SDL number automatically populates. Okay, and then you've got your address, street number, farm, and your town. So we can select 4 ways and the postal code. Let's select South Africa. Okay, we can select next. Sorry. I'll enter in my details. And select next. And you select the tax year and the cycle name. Okay, when you select the end date of the first cycle, so my cycle is going to start. I'm only going to have 2 periods in my payroll. Sorry about that, my company, but that's the wizard. Once the wizard creates the company, it should come up. Please excuse that. Okay, then the company will open onto your workspace. On your workspace, you have some processing. So you've got your payroll processing. You can view your payslip. You've got your reports tab and your tasks tab. You can select to add an employee directly from your workspace. And you can see your active employees, processed employees, unprocessed employees, etc. on your workspace. Okay, so once your company is created, we'll go and select the settings that you want to select. And I'll just run through the settings. You've got your system administrator, which has got your tax tables. Okay, you can select to have prior year's tax tables and the current year's tax tables. Then you've got your trade classification codes, which we've uploaded. So should they change, we can upload that. You've got your major banks and all other banks that's added on the payroll. You've got your various tax methods approved by SARS. You've got your tax year, so you can have a look and see the tax years that you have in the payroll. And then you have your transactions. So in your transactions, all the SARS transactions with the IRP5 codes listed. You can go in and add a transaction. So let's add in a transaction called backdated salary, and you can give it a RP5 code. Let's call it salary. I wouldn't recommend this if you don't know if it's taxable or non-taxable, UIF, SDL, and the IRP5 code. Okay. You can also go in and search for a transaction. So we'll search for travel allowance, and everything with travel allowance will populate in the screen. Okay. Then we've got your tax calculator. So you can see how the tax is calculated. You can add in an employee that's already added. So this employee earns 25,000 Rand. And you can have a look at the tax calculation and how it's actually calculated on the payslip. So that's your system administrator's menu. Then we'll go into the company settings. And go and load the designations specific to this particular company. So I've got a few set up here, and I'll just go into the edit to show you what it looks like. So you just go enter your name and you go and update, and it will update. You go into your payroll cycles. So you can have fortnightly, monthly, weekly. You can have a manager's monthly or anything other specific. This is just listing the settings for your company, specific to your company. Okay, we can have the different departments, your fund types, different salary types, and then the different access rights. Okay, then you would go into the admin tab and create or select the access right or assign access rights to a particular employee depending on what their roles are. So by doing this, you can just unselect all and select what you want them to see or not. Then you would go into user creation. So this user creation is mainly used for like an ESS facility. So the employee would be able to apply for leave. Please excuse me. Apply for leave or view their payslips by logging into the payroll. So for example, these are the 2 employees I've created. Okay, and if I select one, I've created I've created a username and a password, and you can assign the access rights to that particular person. So let's make Roy an employee. Okay. Once you've done that and created it, didn't create the password. It already exists. So let's take an existing employee. Let's take Jess, and Jess is the manager. Jess, we want Jess to approve leave. So we've assigned employees to Jess for the leave that he needs to approve. Okay, and you select assign. So that's the settings that you would set up. Okay, you can also import a master file, and we've got a template available for this master file. Okay, if you go back to the company, so the wizard's created all the important details. So for example, the company addresses, the payroll setup. If you want to go in and add in postal addresses, you can, or the SARS reference numbers, the tax registration number, etc. You can go and add that in now and then save. Contact details, then we've got your payroll setup. So if you look at the monthly, it'll show the processing periods. I started the payroll. My end date cycle was the 31st of January. My fund setup, so I've got a medical aid that's set up for the company, and I've got a provident fund as well. And I'll just open up the provident fund to show you what it looks like. It's not allowing me to, but let's add another one. So let's go and do another test fund, and we'll do a pension fund. the type of pension fund, get a clearance number, the RFI percentage, the category factor. So this you'll get from the policy document that you receive. And then we can either do it as a percentage of the retirement funding income or a fixed amount. Okay, so let's do this one as a percentage, and we can add it. Okay, so now we can start adding employees to this company. Okay, I've created 4 employees, 3 monthly and 1 weekly. We'll just add another employee so you can have a look and see what it looks like. Okay, we will be changing the employee code setup to the initials of the employee. So if it's Candice Malone, it will be CM001, for example. So let's add an employee. Employee status is active. Add an ID number. You can add a picture of the employee and the address details for that employee. So we populated most of the towns in South Africa, and if you select a town, let's just select Atteridgeville, for example, code should populate automatically. And we'll put it as the same as the physical address, email address, and we can save the personal details, which will then take us to the next tab, which is your payment information. Select electronic transfer, the bank that they bank with. So you can split the payment. Say if I have 2 accounts, a check account and a savings account, I can split it so the payment goes into one or both accounts. You can update that. And it goes into work information. And this is where you put the employee start date, the department, and the designation, and the cycle. Okay, we'll put in a monthly salary of 13,000 Rand, and automatically calculates on the monthly salary. Okay, if I click on update, and we'll go to the leave information. So here you would enter in the leave, 15 days annum, and we can add that in. Okay, then we've got your tax information, your employee tax number. So if I had to type in just any number, it would say invalid. So there's a validation on the tax number. Okay, the tax methods, different tax methods, the medical aid beneficiaries, can add that in. And then the ETI calculations. Let's update that. Then we have take on balances. Okay, so you can add in year-to-date figures, excluding the current period. We've got loan information. So let's select a loan. Number of repayments 5, loan amount 5,000, and 1,000 Rand is the repayment. Click on update, it will update. And give you all the information there. Then we've got employee documents. So you can upload letter of appointments, and I'll just show you an example. So you can just drag and drop, and the document saves in the employee master file. Okay, so let's go and do a payslip. Go to Payroll recording. Let's select monthly employees, and all your monthly employees will populate here. So let's go and process for Jess. It shows you the number of days worked, annual leave accrued, and then the leave type. We're not going to be processing leave. Brings through the salary from the master file. Then we've got your deductions, and it calculates the tax deductions, and it gives you a calculation on how the tax has been calculated. Okay, the same with the UIF, gives you the formula for the UIF calculation. Company contribution. Okay, let's add in a medical aid on this payslip. Let's add in a medical aid, 1,200, and a provident fund. Let's add in a provident fund. The provident fund we've selected and this, well, 7% employee and 15% employer. So we're not going to put in a figure there, and this is to add it. You can search for a transaction here as well. Just put in a figure of 2,000, and it should add it. We'll have to look at that. Please bear with me. We're in beta stage. Okay, so the provident fund is automatically calculated. It's brought through the medical aid. And then the fringe benefits has been calculated. Okay, so once the payslip's done and you're happy, you can go and process the payslip. And this is what the payslip will look like. So we can save this payslip. Okay, and then process the next person. The payroll won't run into the next period unless you go and do an actual batch processing. So what this means is that all the monthly employees need to be recorded before you can go to the next period, which will be February. Okay, so if you want to view a payslip, we can. We will be fixing all these commas. It's just pulling through like this from the database itself and adding in a line and customizing it a bit to make it look pretty. So if we go back to the payroll, I'm just going to process another payslip. In fact, I really don't have to, but okay, so we're submitting leave for Dustry. His salary pulls through as well, and he's only worked 14 days. He started in the middle of the month. Okay, and his deductions, that's his PAYE formula, the UIF formula, and I'm going to process him. Okay. So now if the employee wants to log in and view his payslip, he can go into, in fact, I can go to payroll reports and I can select Jess, select that period. Payslip should be here. But I can log out and log in as Jess, as an employee now. Okay, and I can go and I can apply for leave, so annual leave. And I'd like to apply for it from the 29th to the 29th, 1 day. We will be taking this mandatory field out. Let's just say it's holiday and save it. Okay, it says your leave limit is exceeded. You've just processed one period. why it keeps logging out. It was perfect earlier. Let me just log out and log back in again. Do apologize for that. Okay, Das is going to apply for leave. So he has applied for leave there, sick leave. So let's just do that again. Do sick leave, the 30th. Do the 30th, 1 day. He will take these reasons out. So you can add in a sick note, and this will automatically add on his master file. You can save that. Okay, so he's been assigned to Jess, that's his manager. Okay, so it's leave is pending. So there should be an email coming through. Requesting this leave. And I'll show you the email as soon as it comes through. These are the documents that's been saved. Okay, so let's log in as Jess so we can go in and approve the leave. Manage leave as a manager. And that's his pending leave there. So if I go and select it, actions. And I can now go in and approve or reject the leave and update. Put a comment in there. We will take that out as a mandatory field and update. Okay, I'm just going to show you the email requesting leave. Okay, we will fix that spelling mistake. So he's requested leave and the leave came through as pending. We'll be changing that as well to admin@palladiumpayroll.co.za. And the manager logged in and went and approved the leave and said sick note attached. So an email has come back and said it's sick note attached. Okay. The payslips can also be emailed. You can email a payslip and it would be encrypted with the password that you put on the master file. The network, internet. Okay, so the mail has now been sent successfully. You'll have a look and see what it looks like. Okay, while we're waiting for the email to come through, you can go through to the different reports. So you can either access the reports here, or you can go to my workspace. Okay, the email's just arrived. So this is what the email looks like. If I open up the payslip, it should ask me for a password. Please enter a password, which will generally be, I think by default, an ID number or passport number, but you can change that. Okay, so that's when you email the payslips. And then we have the various reports. So we have the bank export report. Select the bank. and that's Rui. All, select all bank export. Okay, we are just putting it in the format at the moment, the specific bank format. Then we've got a UIF export. Test run or live run. So the month of January. And that exports the UIF export. Then we've got the EMP 201 report. Okay, we've got your OID, your payroll totals, and then the various reports on the payroll. And that's really our payroll. That's Palladium Payroll. Okay, so we can get to questions. Let me have a look and see. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to all the payslips. Yes, Tanya, you can customize the look and the layout of the payslips. Yes, that's Crystal. That's the batch processing. So you would first need to process it one by one, clicking on payslip recording where you select your employee and then do a batch processing there. The leave is by default. So we've got all the leave in, well, study leave, family responsibility leave, annual leave. Yes, Moses, banks outside South Africa can be added to the payroll. We do have the add bank on the fly. If you go to company, sorry, excuse me. Sorry, employees. We can go in and edit an employee. And you can add bank there. So for the leave, so we've got the default leave in there.